Because of the many problems associated with air pollution, going back into the late 1960s and into the early 70s, there was a lot of momentum that developed that the costs of air pollution to society were huge. All these premature deaths, there were economic costs. Hey, if you're in an area downwind of the big coal-fired plants in much of the eastern part of the United States, the forests in the area, in many cases, had much reduced productivity. They had very toxic acid rain that would come in these environments of such great air pollution. The forestry production in those regions would be less. In many cases, the fish would entirely die because the acid rain was so extreme, and so there was not a fishing industry or even sport fishing. Also affected people's quality of their food supply, of course. And so there were a whole bunch of reasons why it made sense to do something about this horrible pollution. But how do you figure this out? So the requirement, which still exists today, that the Environmental Protection Agency of the United States uses is they have to do a cost benefits analysis. Basically, okay, here's what it's going to cost to clean up the air pollution from this kind of, say, for example, coal-fired electricity generating plant. Here's what it will cost to have all these scrubbers to clean it up, make it much less polluting. And are those costs going to be exceeded by the benefits? In other words, if the benefits are bigger than the costs, then there's a net financial benefit, point 3 on this slide. So if there's a net financial benefit, and they have to use rigorous studies to come up with this, then it's worth going through. So by 2010, there were various estimates that we're probably losing 23,000 fewer people every year due to health pollution, due to air pollution. Still, though, 200,000 or so premature deaths annually in the United States come from air pollution. According to a MIT study, MIT, you might be familiar with the meaning of MIT, it's Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It's one of the three most prestigious technological universities in the world. Caltech is another one of those. And so the study there that you probably clicked on, or hopefully you did when you went through that, shows some maps. And so what you want to do is take some notes. If you didn't take notes on this, I would recommend that you go back and just click on that slide. It's right near the end of this presentation. Jot a few notes down. Couple basic things. First of all, there were some maps there. What were the two major sources of air pollution in the United States? There were two types. Let me give you a hint. One of them was electric generation. Ignore the baseline one, by the way. Ignore the baseline one. One was electric generation. What's the other one? Okay. And the second part is what part of the country is most affected by each? What region? Say, east of the Mississippi, west of the Mississippi, the south, the northwest. What is it? So have those two in mind, okay? The leading sources and the regions most affected.